I'm 104 years old, and I'm the oldest living Pearl Harbor survivor. I was a naval reservist. I joined about 5 years before the war started. We assembled here in San Diego, and then from San Diego, they assigned us to a minesweeper, and then they sent us to Pearl Harbor. On the 6th of December, at night, we'd go on an operation, sleeping right outside the harbor. That morning, we spotted the submarine trying to get in the harbor, and we reported to the USS Ward, and then we thought it was the end of our duty. I went home and went to bed because I was so tired. I hadn't slept in all night, and I told my wife I didn't want to eat breakfast. I just wanted to get some sleep, which I did. And then after, I thought it was about 5-10 minutes of sleep, she came over into our bedroom and called me and told me that everything was on fire, that we were being attacked. I went out and saw the harbor on fire and all black smoke from the oil, from the ships burning. And so it was dark, black dark. And I felt terrible to see all those ships on fire and the men struggling to keep alive in the oily water. Tears came to my eyes because of the destruction of the ships and more important, the lives that were lost. I never will forget it. I went through the whole 4 years of combat. I was on troop transport. It was named LaSalle, USS LaSalle. Some of them came back all torn apart. I just couldn't handle it anymore, so I did my job, and that's what I did. When I got discharged, I just took some time off, and then we first rented a house in Mission Hills. Then we started saving, and we bought a house. My daughter had grown up, and she met this young man. He was from the Navy, too. They got married and had a granddaughter for me.
They were all very young. The baby was about a year old. The girl was about 18, and the boy was probably about 19. And they were going up to LA, and they were hit head-on by another car, and they were killed.
They killed my daughter and my granddaughter instantly, and he passed away about 2 hours later. Quite a shock, especially to Margaret, my wife. She went to her grave thinking about them. We missed Peggy, and one day we were talking about the accident, and she suggested, why don't we adopt?
So they went to the adoption agency, they told me, and asked them if they could find an older child, not a baby. And so they came up with me, and I was 5 years old at the time, and that's how they got me, and I got them.
She just filled the empty gap that we had there. We didn't treat her any different than anybody else. I can't do some things anymore. That's one reason why I'm going to the gym on account of the exercise. I used to fall quite often. I used to fall just walking.
So that's when I started taking care of him 24/7.
He was in a walker, but he was getting close to being in a wheelchair.
So Sean says, well, we're going to work on him, getting his strength up, getting his appetite back.
He gained 20 pounds of pure muscle in 6 months. Now he's sailing. Have a good day, guys.
Thank you, you too.
Well, thanks a lot.
The 50th anniversary of Pearl Harbor was coming along. I said, would you like to go to Pearl Harbor for the ceremony?
Kathy talked me into going because I didn't want to go, and reminded me all of the destruction that I had seen.
Well, we went to the 50th, and then we went to the 55th, and then the 60th. So I said, why don't we just go every year from now on? And so that's what we've been doing. I am especially glad for him because, to me, he is now getting the recognition that he deserved. And then when they find out he's 104, Then they're really thrilled. They want their picture taken, his autograph. It just seems to make him really happy, and I think that's very cool.
I really like to think about it because it makes me feel that I can see all the men and my friends that I made in the Navy. Make me feel a lot better. I'm not a hero. I consider that what I did was part of my job, part of my life, part of the country's survival. I would go back to the Navy if they would accept me and go on from there.